In the last two videos, we explained Github to you. Github is the platform and tool of choice that we decided to use for this project. If you haven't seen those videos, you're really welcome to go back and look at them. If you're already familiar with GitHub and you already took a look at the repository, this video is the right one for you. So what we're going to do today is take basically like a bird's eye view on the project, which means we're going to look at OpenSpending. We're going to kind of try to briefly describe what we're trying to achieve here. And then we're also going to go inside the repository and show you how to get your hands dirty with the data. So to start off, just quickly to illustrate what we're actually doing here, this is kind of what you would find if you were looking for a data set. In this case, it's Spain, and the fund is ERDF and Cohesion Fund. So as you can see here, you have a list of regional files. Those files contain, well, they're basically PDF files, and they contain, in this case, data with 5 categories, 2,596 pages in this case, and well, this is kind of what you would normally see. What we're trying to get to is basically this here. This is OpenSpending. OpenSpending, in this case, the Explorer. OpenSpending has several components. And the Explorer is basically, as you can read here, a platform that allows you to search and share data sets. And I'm quickly going to illustrate that. Here we have a data set. Actually, oh yeah, there it already loaded. This is a basic data set. As you can see, it has a function like general public service. It has a year and has a amount. And this is a kind of a budget file. Very simple one that we're going to use now to illustrate the point. What OpenSpending allows you to do, as you can read here, is create a visualization and select a view of your choice. So we're just going to start off with a basic view. This visualization shows now the whole budget. We can also go into functional classifications, and there you go. We can beautifully and immediately get an impression of which part of the budget goes to what and how it stands in relation to basically the other parts. We can also add more visualizations like a bubble one, or we could also do something like this here. I mean, you get the point. This is, as you can see, like a super easy tool that allows you to create quick visualizations and also to kind of use these and link them in your own project. You can embed these visualizations then, for example, on your own website, or if you were writing an article and you would use these visualizations to illustrate your point, you could use this embed function. So how do we get from this here to this here? Well, this is where our project comes into play, because what we're trying to do is basically get the datasets in a machine-readable format that can be used by OpenSpending to then create these visualizations. So this brings us to the second part of our tutorial, which is using issues to pick your favorite dataset. For this, we go back to our repository and check out the issues here. And what we can do now is to sort all the issues for sourcing ones, which will show us all the issues that are related to gathering and sourcing data. So there we have 3 categories now. The first one is data is missing. Here you can see no data has been found so far. So this is where we can use your help in terms of that you inquire, that you try to, especially if it is a country that you reside in or that you're familiar with, this is a point where you can basically go to the landing page if there is one, or try to Google a better source for the data by yourself, because as we've said previously, it is really not that easy sometimes to find the data, especially if it's in a foreign language. So basically we've done the best we could, but this is really something where you can help out. So this would be the data missing case. If the data is incomplete, like it is in the case of France, you can see that, well, there is no data for the current budgeting period. But what, of course, is the interesting category in terms of sourcing is the data complete category. So this brings us to the third part of our tutorial, which is sourcing the data, and this is really where we get our hands dirty. And there is one first step that we should always do, and I've said that before, it cannot be said often enough. Please create your own branch before you start working on the data. So far this branch is even with the master, as we can see. Well, if we now picked, for example, Croatia as our desired country to be working on, or desired data set, more so to speak, we then would go to the corresponding folder within the repository. So you can see it's in data in Croatia. And then we would do the following. Actually I have to go. And then we would do the following. So first we would open up the repository once again. We'd go to this folder here called specifications, and there we will find a file called source-description.yaml. What this file contains is several categories, and I won't go through all of them right now because there's quite a lot of them. If there should be any issues with understanding what a category refers to, or if you have a suggestion for another one that is missing, something like that, please let us know. Other than that, I would just recommend you to go through here. I mean, there is a description for every category basically, and you should be able to figure it out by yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this local folder here, and we're going to create a new file. We're going to call this file source.description.yaml, and as you might have guessed, we're going to take all the text that is featured in here, go and paste it into the new file. And at this point, you can actually start the sourcing work. So how this will work is the following. You will check out the link here. I've actually already downloaded and opened the dataset to speed things up here. What we find here is a bunch of categories. We have a lot of data, and this data needs to be described. This is what basically the sourcing process is all about. And then this is what we would do. We would go we would go into the data file, and we would say for example something like this. If we would have checked out the dataset and there would be more information, we would fill that in here, and so on and so on and so on. As I said, I won't go through all of these because then the video would become very long and very dry. I would rather think it is a good idea if you go through these categories yourself. And if there is a field that you don't know anything about, let's say you would be confused by certifying authority, you would leave this blank. If there would be another kind of category that comes to mind, please just go ahead and fill this in. So, for example, if you would think, okay, so what is the language of the document, if this was not featured yet, please just fill those in, but don't do that in the YAML file right here. Please go to the one that is featured in the specifications folder, and then again you would make on your branch some changes, and then you would make a pull request, and that is something I'm going to show you right now. So let's say we were finished with filling in our data here. We would have put all our changes to the document. Then we commit these changes, and we would see that we can actually now we do have the option to make a pull request. So what we do here is you would fill in a description, and we could see, okay, so we created the source description.yaml, we updated it, and all of these lines obviously are new because the file is new. So we would create a pull request, and at this point we as the core team have the option to check out your pull request. As I can show you, if I now go to the master, I see, okay, there's a pull request here. I can check it out, I can see, well, has this all been alright, and then I could merge this. And this is actually how all of this works. So this is basically the sourcing process. As we've mentioned, it is the case that we're like learning and gathering new information about this process ourselves as we do it. So obviously there might be cases where there need to be some categories that need to be added, or maybe you found something that you don't understand where you need explanation. So please feel free to check out the wiki. Please feel free to hack the wiki. Check out the contribution guidelines, bring in your own ideas. And of course, please also contact us directly via the Slack channel and let us know if you need some help, if you have some suggestions. And together we'll manage. Alright, so thanks everyone for your attention, and see you in the next video.